At the top of the world, where ancient glaciers carved vast fjords into the rugged coastline and the sea freezes into jagged sheets of ice, lies a land shaped by some of the harshest conditions on Earth. This is a place where 4 long months of polar darkness give way to 4 months of continuous daylight. Here, massive glaciers melt into the cold waters of the North Atlantic, and ancient creatures struggle to survive in a frozen wilderness where every season brings new challenges. Welcome to Norway and Svalbard, a land of towering ice, vast oceans, and some of the planet's most formidable marine predators. If you are someone who loves exploring the untamed wonders of nature and the remarkable stories of humanity across the globe, please hit that subscribe button and join our community so you never miss our weekly journeys. May God bring peace and blessings to you and your family. And now, our journey begins. Deep beneath the icy surface of the Norwegian Sea, a silent hunt unfolds in the pitch-black waters. This frigid marine world is home to one of the most intelligent and formidable apex predators on Earth, the Arctic orca. Growing up to 8 meters in length and weighing as much as 6 metric tons, these powerful marine mammals are perfectly adapted for life in the freezing North Atlantic. With females capable of living for up to 80 years, an orca accumulates decades of experience, passing essential hunting knowledge from one generation to the next. Their social lives revolve around tightly bonded matriarchal pods, led by the oldest and most experienced female, whose knowledge is critical to the survival of the entire family. Reproduction in these icy waters demands an extraordinary investment of time and energy. A female orca carries her calf for 15 to 18 months before giving birth to a single newborn weighing nearly 200 kilograms. Because raising a calf requires enormous amount of energy, females typically give birth only once every 3 to 5 years, devoting years to teaching each young orca the skills needed to survive in Arctic waters. To locate prey in these dark, near-freezing seas, orcas rely on one of nature's most sophisticated biological tools, an advanced echolocation system that emits powerful ultrasonic clicks. By interpreting the returning echoes, they create a detailed acoustic picture of everything around them, allowing them to navigate and hunt with remarkable accuracy, even in complete darkness. During the harsh winter months, millions of Atlantic herring gather in dense, shimmering schools within Norway's sheltered fjords, seeking protection from the rough waters of the open ocean. This enormous concentration of prey sets the stage for one of the most remarkable cooperative hunting strategies in the natural world, known as carousel feeding. Working together with extraordinary coordination, the pod circles beneath the herring, flashing their bright white underbellies to drive the fish into an increasingly tighter formation. The orcas then release streams of air bubbles beneath the school, creating a rising curtain that forces the panicked fish upward into a dense, compact sphere near the surface. Once the school has been tightly packed together, a large orca surges forward and strikes the water with its powerful tail. The resulting hydrodynamic shock stuns hundreds of herring at once, leaving them drifting helplessly near the surface. The pod then calmly and systematically feeds on the stunned fish, demonstrating an exceptional level of cooperation and sophisticated vocal communication refined over generations. Yet, as we descend even deeper, beyond the reach of sunlight, into the crushing pressure of the Arctic sea floor. The ocean reveals one of its oldest living inhabitants. Drifting silently through the black, frigid water at an agonizingly slow speed of barely 1 kilometer per hour is the ancient Greenland shark. Growing up to 7 meters in length and weighing more than 1,200 kilograms, this slow-moving giant holds the extraordinary distinction of being the longest living vertebrate on Earth. Some individuals are believed to survive for more than 5 centuries, meaning sharks swimming through these waters today may have already been fully grown long before the Industrial Revolution. Their growth is remarkably slow, averaging only about 1 centimeter each year. Because of this sluggish metabolism, female Greenland sharks do not reach sexual maturity until they are approximately 150 years old. They retain their soft-shelled eggs internally before eventually giving birth to live young, following an exceptionally long period of embryonic development. Remarkably, almost every adult Greenland shark is functionally blind. Tiny pink parasitic crustaceans often attach themselves to the shark's corneas, gradually damaging their vision over many years. Yet eyesight is of little importance in the permanent darkness of the deep Arctic seabed. Instead, these ancient predators rely on an extraordinarily sensitive sense of smell, allowing them to detect even the faint scent of decaying flesh or vulnerable prey from miles away across the ocean floor. But even the Greenland shark is not the undisputed ruler of these northern waters. When the sea ice stretches across the Arctic, another predator emerges at the top of this frozen ecosystem. The polar bear, standing up to 3 meters tall on its hind legs and weighing as much as 800 kilograms, the polar bear is the largest land carnivore on Earth and one of the Arctic's most highly specialized hunters. Females typically give birth during the depths of winter inside snow dens, where tiny cubs, each weighing less than a kilogram, are born blind and almost completely helpless. For the next 2.5 years, the mother devotes herself to protecting and teaching her cubs every skill they will need to survive in one of the planet's harshest environments. Unlike brown bears, polar bears spend most of their lives on sea ice rather than on land. Their survival depends almost entirely on ringed and bearded seals, prey that provide the enormous fat reserves needed to endure the Arctic climate. Every part of a polar bear's body reflects millions of years of adaptation. Its dense underfur traps a layer of insulating air close to the skin, while hollow guard hairs improve heat retention. Beneath the fur lies a layer of black skin that absorbs solar radiation more efficiently, helping conserve warmth whenever sunlight is available. Underneath, a thick layer of body fat, sometimes exceeding 10 centimeters, provides additional insulation against the freezing temperatures. Even the bear's massive paws are specially adapted for life on snow and ice. Measuring nearly 30 centimeters across, they spread the animal's weight over a larger surface area, reducing the risk of breaking through thin sea ice. The rough, textured pads and sharp claws provide exceptional traction, allowing the bear to move confidently across slippery frozen surfaces. A polar bear's sense of smell is so acute that it can detect a seal breathing beneath the snow from more than a kilometer away. Once it locates a breathing hole, the bear may wait silently for hours, conserving every possible calorie until the seal surfaces for air. Then, in a fraction of a second, It strikes with astonishing speed and power. Every successful hunt is essential, because in this unforgiving Arctic environment, a missed opportunity can mean weeks without another substantial meal. Yet today, this perfectly adapted predator faces a challenge unlike any it has encountered throughout its long evolutionary history. As rising global temperatures continue to shorten the season of stable sea ice, the platform on which polar bears hunt is disappearing. For a species whose entire survival strategy depends on the frozen ocean, the loss of sea ice may prove to be its greatest challenge. As the shattered ice settles and the polar bear claims its hard-earned meal on the Arctic ice, the freezing winds carry us far from the frozen coastline. Traveling south across the icy waters, we arrive on the rugged Norwegian mainland and climb into the wind-swept mountain plateaus of Dovrefjell National Park. This harsh alpine landscape seems almost unchanged since the last ice age, a high-altitude refuge where ancient life has endured for thousands of years. Roaming this desolate wilderness is one of the last surviving relics of the Pleistocene epoch, the formidable muskox. Standing nearly 1.5 meters tall at the shoulder and weighing up to 400 kilograms, these prehistoric herbivores once shared the frozen landscape with woolly mammoths and saber-toothed cats. While many of the great Ice Age mammals disappeared, the muskox survived through an extraordinary set of adaptations for life in extreme cold. Beneath its long, shaggy guard hairs, which nearly sweep across the snow, lies an exceptionally fine, dense undercoat known as kiviot. This remarkable natural insulation is up to 8 times warmer than sheep's wool, allowing muskoxen to remain remarkably resilient during fierce mountain blizzards, where temperatures can plunge to -40 degrees Celsius. In the wild, a muskox typically lives between 12 and 20 years, enduring a lifetime of relentless alpine winters. During the autumn rut, mature bulls release a powerful musky scent from specialized glands near their eyes to establish dominance and attract females, giving the species its familiar name. After an 8-month gestation, a female gives birth to a single calf, a fragile newborn that must stand within minutes to withstand the freezing mountain air. When a pack of Arctic wolves emerges from the blizzard, the herd responds with one of the most effective defensive formations found in the animal kingdom, the phalanx formation. The adults quickly form a tight defensive circle, sheltering their vulnerable calves safely at the center. Facing outward, they lower their massive skulls and present an unbroken barrier of thick, upward curving horns. Their breath rises in dense clouds against the freezing air, and any wolf reckless enough to attack is met with a devastating headbutt capable of inflicting serious, sometimes fatal, injuries. Leaving these Ice Age survivors standing firm against the mountain wind, our journey turns north once again, crossing hundreds of miles of icy ocean toward the remote Arctic archipelago of Svalbard. Here, in the high Arctic, where muskoxen no longer roam, we encounter a species that has followed a very different evolutionary path to survive the relentless cold, the Svalbard reindeer. Unlike their taller, long-legged relatives that migrate across mainland Scandinavia, the Svalbard reindeer evolved in isolation for thousands of years, becoming uniquely adapted to life in the Arctic archipelago. They are noticeably smaller and more compact, weighing between 60 and 90 kilograms, with short legs and a rounded, barrel-shaped body that minimizes heat loss in the frigid Arctic climate. Living for up to 10 years in this unforgiving environment, these hardy herbivores do not undertake the vast seasonal migrations seen in other reindeer populations. Instead, they spend the brief Arctic summer grazing almost continuously, building a thick layer of subcutaneous fat that can reach nearly 10 centimeters in depth. When the long, dark winter locks the islands beneath sheets of ice and frozen snow, they use their broad, spoon-shaped hooves to scrape through the hardened crust in search of scattered patches of dormant mosses and lichens hidden below. It is a quiet existence, defined by patience and endurance, with the animals often standing motionless in the freezing wind to conserve every possible calorie. Yet the high Arctic is a land shaped by dramatic seasonal contrasts, and beneath the frozen silence, the landscape waits for the return of sunlight. When the 4-month polar night finally comes to an end, the midnight sun rises above the horizon and remains there for 4 continuous months. The return of continuous daylight sparks a rapid ecological transformation. The once silent skies above Svalbard's towering coastal cliffs erupt with the thunder of millions of beating wings. Arriving in immense colonies from the open Atlantic Ocean, dovekies, also known as little auks, return to breed among the steep fields of broken rock that line the cliffs. These tiny, plump seabirds weigh only around 150 grams and measure just 20 centimeters in length, yet they can live for as long as 15 years. Diving to depths of up to 30 meters in the freezing Arctic waters, they feed primarily on energy-rich copepods. But their greatest ecological contribution begins when they return to land. Each female lays a single egg deep within the protective crevices of the rocky talus slopes, where it remains sheltered from nest predators. With millions of birds nesting together across the cliffs, enormous quantities of guano accumulate on the barren ground below. Rich in nitrogen and phosphorus, this natural fertilizer transforms nutrients gathered from the ocean into a vital resource for the Arctic landscape. Over time, the once barren slopes beneath the colonies become covered with lush carpets of mosses, grasses, and other Arctic vegetation. In doing so, these small seabirds quite literally help build the biological foundation of the tundra ecosystem. Yet such an extraordinary concentration of birds, eggs, chicks, and newly enriched vegetation inevitably attracts another Arctic hunter. Moving quietly through the moss-covered ground below the cliffs is the Arctic fox. Weighing between 3 and 5 kilograms and typically living only 3 to 6 years, this adaptable predator must take full advantage of the Arctic's brief summer abundance. The Svalbard Arctic fox undergoes a remarkable seasonal transformation. Throughout the long polar winter, it wears a thick, multi-layered coat of pure white fur that provides outstanding insulation while blending seamlessly into the snow-covered landscape, allowing it to endure temperatures as low as -50 degrees Celsius. With the arrival of continuous summer daylight, the white coat is shed and replaced by dark brown and slate gray fur, providing excellent camouflage among the exposed rocks, moss, and tundra vegetation. Each spring, female Arctic foxes give birth to remarkably large litters of up to 14 hungry pups inside deep dens hidden among the rocks, placing enormous demands on both parents to find food throughout the short Arctic summer. Equipped with exceptionally sensitive hearing, the fox patrols the base of the nesting cliffs, listening for the faint movements of prey beneath the rocks and vegetation. It scavenges fallen dove key chicks, raids unguarded nests for eggs, and stalks Arctic ptarmigans concealed among the tundra plants. The brief breeding season offers only a narrow window of abundance, and the fox wastes no opportunity. The instant it detects a vulnerable target, it launches forward with explosive speed, securing a protein-rich meal to carry back to its waiting pups. Every successful hunt helps sustain the next generation before the Arctic summer fades. It is a relentless cycle of survival, driven entirely by the short-lived explosion of life that arrives with the return of the midnight sun. Yet even this remarkable abundance is fleeting. As summer draws to a close, millions of seabirds depart for the open Atlantic. Vegetation withers beneath the first frosts, and the Arctic landscape gradually falls silent once again. For the animals of Svalbard, every precious week of warmth has been spent preparing for the long polar winter that inevitably returns. As the brief Arctic summer reaches its peak and the tundra blooms with temporary life, the relentless coastal gales draw us back toward the wave-battered rocky shores of Svalbard. Piled high along the gravel beaches like enormous lichen-covered boulders are some of the most formidable marine giants in the northern hemisphere, the Atlantic walrus. Measuring up to 3.5 meters in length and weighing an astounding 1.5 metric tons, these massive pinnipeds are among the largest inhabitants of the polar seas. Possessing an impressive lifespan that can reach up to 40 years in these freezing waters, a female walrus invests heavily in the next generation. And during a 15-month gestation period before giving birth to a single calf only once every 2 to 3 years. Mothers protect their newborn calves with fierce devotion, cradling them between their massive front flippers when killer whales or hungry polar bears approach the shoreline. The most iconic feature of the Atlantic walrus is its extraordinary pair of ivory tusks, which can extend up to a full meter in length and weigh more than 5 kilograms each. These impressive tusks serve far more than a role in dominance contests between rival bulls. They are indispensable survival tools, acting like powerful ice hooks that the walrus drives into slippery ice floes to haul its immense body out of the freezing ocean. Intriguingly, a walrus undergoes a remarkable physiological response based entirely on the temperature of its surroundings. When diving into sub-zero ocean currents, blood vessels near the skin rapidly constrict to retain heat around its vital organs, turning its thick hide a pale white. Yet, when it hauls out onto the rocky shore to bask beneath the midnight sun, those same blood vessels dilate, turning its massive body a pinkish red. To hunt in the murky, lightless ocean depths where sight is useless, the walrus relies on an extraordinary sensory system. A dense array of 400 to 700 stiff, highly sensitive facial whiskers known as vibrissae. Sweeping these broad brush-like whiskers across the muddy seafloor, it detects hidden clams and mussels with remarkable precision, using its powerful, plunger-like tongue to generate a vacuum that separates the soft meat from the shell. Yet, as ancient and formidable as these polar giants are, this frozen wilderness holds another story, shaped by an equally remarkable survivor, humanity. For thousands of years, the brutal Arctic climate of northern Norway has been shaped by human resilience and remarkable cultural adaptability. First came the indigenous Sami people, ancient reindeer herders who developed a deep connection with the harsh environment, following the natural migrations of their herds across the frozen tundra through centuries of long polar winters. Later, between the 8th and 11th centuries, the legendary Viking seafarers carved their legacy into these stormy northern waters. Navigating open wooden longships through fierce Arctic storms and treacherous coastal currents, the Vikings explored the northern fjords, driven by the pursuit of trade, exploration, and territorial expansion. That enduring legacy of human resilience reaches one of its most remarkable modern expressions here on the remote archipelago of Svalbard, inside the town of Longyearbyen, the northernmost permanent human settlement on Earth. In this isolated polar outpost, survival requires compliance with some of the most unusual, scientifically grounded regulations in the world. Most famously, it is strictly illegal to die in Longyearbyen. This is not a superstitious mandate, but a biological reality created by permafrost, the permanently frozen layer of subsoil that prevents organic tissue from decomposing. Bodies buried in this frozen ground can remain preserved for extraordinarily long periods, creating a potential biological hazard. In 1998, a team of scientists exhumed the bodies of miners buried in Svalbard after dying during the devastating global influenza pandemic of 1918. To their astonishment, they recovered preserved genetic material from the virus responsible for the Spanish flu, still frozen inside lung tissue after 80 years. To reduce the risk of exposing researchers to long-preserved pathogens, anyone who becomes terminally ill or nears the end of life is transferred by plane to mainland Norway. For similar medical reasons, pregnant women are required to travel to the Norwegian mainland before giving birth. Because the small local medical clinic lacks specialized neonatal emergency equipment, expecting mothers are required to fly to mainland Norway approximately 3 weeks before their expected due date. Furthermore, cats have been banned from the entire archipelago since the 1990s to protect delicate populations of Arctic migratory birds from introduced predators. And due to the constant threat posed by roaming polar bears, anyone stepping beyond the perimeter of Longyearbyen is legally required by the governor to carry a high-powered rifle for protection. Yet, despite these extreme restrictions, Svalbard remains uniquely connected to the global community through the historic Svalbard Treaty of 1920. Under this unique international agreement, citizens of more than 40 signatory nations have the right to live, work, and establish businesses on the islands without needing a visa, provided they remain financially self-sufficient. Deep within the mountain, overlooking Longyearbyen, lies humanity's greatest safeguard against agricultural catastrophe, the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, often called the Doomsday Vault. Carved more than 100 meters into solid mountain permafrost, this high-security facility stores over 1 million distinct agricultural seed samples contributed by nations from around the world. Built to withstand nuclear war, asteroid impacts, and other global catastrophes, this subterranean vault preserves the agricultural future of human civilization within the frozen heart of the mountain. From the sunless abyssal trenches where ancient giants glide through the frozen darkness, to the howling tundra inhabited by Ice Age survivors and human settlements built deep within solid mountain permafrost, Norway and Svalbard remain a testament to the extraordinary resilience of life. In this extreme northern frontier, nature does not merely exist at the edge of survival. It continues to thrive, shaping remarkable beauty from relentless conditions. It is a world that challenges everything we know about adaptation, where every breath beneath the dancing northern lights reflects the enduring struggle to survive the Arctic cold. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of the high Arctic. If you enjoyed exploring these extraordinary landscapes and the remarkable stories of our planet, please take a moment to like this video, share it with fellow adventurers, and click that subscribe button to support Bioanomalies. Don't forget to turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly explorations of the world's most remarkable natural wonders. May God bring peace and blessings to you and your family. Until our next adventure together, our journey continues.